Dragon hide gloves? Woolen jumper? Owl, cat or toad? Oh no. This school sounds like an absolute animal rights nightmare. What am I going to do?
Hey everybody, we're here today with Courtney Crisfield, also known as CJC Performer on Instagram. And she is here to talk about the upcoming series called Mandrakes Feel Pain and Other Magical Vegan Myths, which is produced by Northern Star Productions. And it's a new series that's going to be coming out soon. So, of course, we're very interested in that, being the Protego Foundation. It's about a vegan at Hogwarts. So we're very excited to talk with Courtney and find out all about this upcoming series. So, thanks for joining me today, Courtney. How are you doing?
Thanks so much for having me, Valerie. Thank you. I just want to thank the Protego Foundation so much for your support with this series, even before it's come out. That's phenomenal. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like something that we would do. We just didn't even think to do it. So I'm so glad that you did and that you have all the creativity to come up with it. And when the first time I ever heard about it, I was super excited. So cannot wait to see it.
It was definitely up your diagon alley.
Definitely. Yes, exactly. And it's going to be a comedy. Is that right?
Yeah, primarily a comedy. I can't help myself. I always find myself drawing back to comedy in whatever I do. And I think that is a very universal language, you know.
For sure. Yeah, I can't wait. It sounds literally like the perfect thing. I know all the Protego Foundation supporters are going to love it too. So
fantastic.
So we're going to ask just a few questions to get to know you a little bit. So when did you first become a Harry Potter fan?
Man, I feel like Courtney and Harry Potter has been synonymous for so long. I'm just like such a big fan, as I'm sure you understand. But yeah, when I first became a fan was when I was, like just starting school age. So like 3 or 4, 5 years old, like that type of age. I was read the books by my mum and my stepdad like before bed each night. And I tell you what, on the nights when if I'd been, a bit naughty or I hadn't eaten my dinner or something like that and I wasn't allowed to have Harry Potter read to me before bed, it was like, I'm not proud of it, but I would cry and scream and like, I want Harry Potter.
Oh my gosh.
Which well, I think if you can tell by that how much I was just like in love with the series from the start.
It sounds like you have an amazing family and you probably don't even remember a time before Harry Potter was in your life. I don't think memories.
That was the first 4 books.
Yeah, that's so great.
Okay. And from there it's just been a whole journey where I feel like my life and Harry Potter just keeps like weaving in and out and we keep crossing paths in the best possible way. And even if not, it's always the thing that, it's so comforting. You can always read the book, always watch the films, and you just feel that like, oh, I'm home.
Exactly. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what led you to going vegan?
Yeah, I back in 2013, 14 type of time was when I maybe like 2014, 2015 actually. Yeah, I moved out of home properly for the first time and I was really getting into like fitness and trying to be healthy and got into like cooking for the first time in my life and, had to look after all of my meals and things like that. Got really interested in fitness and was myself and my partner, we were both a bit of gym junkies at that time. And I was always interested in looking up like what was going to be like something else like healthy that I could try or something that, just learning more. I'm always like, just want to learn more about things and, can you tell I'm a Ravenclaw from that? Somewhere in that time, when I was always interested in just being more healthy, I realized that dairy milk was just not doing my digestive system any good at all. Even though ice cream was my favorite food growing up, I had to sort of let that go bit by bit, because it just made me feel gross all the time, and I was in denial about that, but I had to accept that at some stage. And then as well, following on from that, just started doing more research, and in late 2017 was when What the Health came out, that documentary, which is awesome and fantastic and covers so much. And I literally just read the title. It's like, What the Health? And I was like, I'm into health. I'm into like learning things. I love documentaries. Let's watch this. And it was like the biggest glass shatter of my life, of you can be super healthy just eating beautiful, colorful, fresh plants. There doesn't need to be anything else involved. So, from that, I would say I, initially went vegan for my health, but then after learning, again, researching, learning, so interested in just knowing more, and I realized how everything is connected, and the damages that animal agriculture does to our planet as well, and just the whole ethical side of things is definitely what has really, really sustained and amplified my passion for helping everyone to just understand what vegan is, primarily because I had no idea at all. I think I only knew like 3 vegans or 2 vegans in my life before I'd even like properly understood what the term was. And I'd known a couple of vegetarians growing up, which, my my mum, she might remember saying this, or she might not, but she used to refer to them as like, oh, those hippie vegetarian people, which was, when I was a kid, and she didn't know what that was now, but she's vegan now, so like,
really
good mum. Yeah. But if it's all right, can I tell you a quick story about the first vegan that it's just like such a nice story. If it's cool, I could share that.
Please do.
Thank you. One of the acting workshops, classes, things that I did back in 2013, so when I was like in university at that time, there was a really, really lovely girl who I became friends with, and then one day before class she said, oh, do you want to meet up for dinner before class? And we went to a place that she had chose, because she said, oh, I'd like to go here. And I said, yeah, no worries, that's cool. And the food was all vegan, and she was saying, oh, this is all vegan food, so there's no dairy, there's no eggs, there's no other animal ingredients. Do you know like much about that? And I'm thinking like, what do you like? I didn't understand at all. I don't think at that time like super opposed to it. I just didn't know what the hell she was on about. I was like, what do you mean there's no meat, there's no this, there's no that? Oh, okay, this must be like those hippie vegetarian people. Okay. And but she was so lovely, and she was very open to questions if I had any, and which I think that's the best way you've got to be for just helping spread the knowledge and awareness for everyone. But then one night after class, because she had her license and I didn't at that stage, she offered to drive me home after class, and while we were driving, she said, oh, I really, really, really feel like ice cream. Just give me a sec, I've got to stop here. And she went to the supermarket, and I'm thinking like, how is she going to eat ice cream if she doesn't have milk, right? But sure enough, she came back to the car, and she had like the OG like dairy-free ice cream, like the vanilla so good
Yes.
tub. You know, you might know the one I'm talking
Yeah.
about. And she was like, I'm just gonna like chow down on this for 5 minutes, don't mind me, I just have this massive craving. And she's like, you can try it, and I think you'd really like it. And she, from the supermarket, she'd gotten like 2 disposable spoons with her, so I could try it. And it was really nice. And even though I didn't on the spot, I wasn't like converted on the spot back then, obviously, and wasn't like, oh wow, I'm going to be a vegan too. I really think that that's what got the ball properly rolling for me in my subconscious, you know.
Wow.
And like, what a lovely, just like simple, she probably didn't even think too much about it, gesture that's really stuck with me.
That's amazing. Yeah, when I was listening to you, I was wondering if maybe she's just super clever, like a professional attractivist, and she's like, "Oh yeah, like I got you a spoon so you can try this." But I love that you were saying
In retrospect.
Yeah. I love that you tried it, and that sounds just like the perfect situation. And if everyone could just be that open-minded, and if all of the current vegans could be that like accepting and just, you know, very gentle with people, I think that does go a long way, and your story is proof that that's effective. So awesome. So
yeah, absolutely.
So is ice cream still your favorite food, or are you more of like the whole food type?
Oh, a bit of everything. I love all foods. I really do. I'm not fussy. I used to be like quite fussy before being plant-based and vegan, but since then, like I've found my palate has changed so much. Everything tastes so good.
Yeah, that's so
Do you find that too?
Yeah, well, not as much me, but as far as like just discovering so many foods that I probably never would have touched before. So yeah, I guess I am the same way. Just having, I feel like once people go vegan, they have just more of a passion for food. And I feel like a lot of people think like, oh, vegans don't have as many options. Like they're just settling for whatever they have. But no, like we discover like all these new different types of foods. And growing up, like I never had many fresh vegetables, but now it's just like you're saying, just colorful, like a whole pot of vegetables every night, and it's so healthy. And it tastes great. And I mean, I was in Los Angeles last week, and I was at a restaurant that had like vegan caviar and just like really crazy stuff that I don't know how they did it, but they made it, and it's great. So yeah,
expand your mind, expand your palate. And there's something inherent about challenging the norm and veganism that, you know, it requires a lot of resourcefulness, and you will be trying a lot of things that like you weren't going to before. It's really cool.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Okay, so how did you get into performing?
I've been training and doing, you know, non-paid and then paid performing since 2011, so it's 10 years now. Woo. And I just absolutely love it. My main passion is theatre, like live theatre. I'm not a singer or a dancer, and I'll be the first one to tell you that. I love just like straight acting. I'll give it a crack, but like I'm not I'm not a singer or a dancer. But how did I first get into performing? I think I've always known that it's the path that I've wanted to take. My main inspirations when I was growing up, I would definitely have to say, I would just watch any film that Jim Carrey or Robin Williams has done. And I would watch like Mrs. Doubtfire, Hook, Bruce Almighty, those films on absolute repeat, interchangeably with the Harry Potter films. Like that was like the roster of like things I would watch when I was a kid, and just I was just absolutely captivated with just the feeling that the joy, like that you could really, that it's really for me like palpable. Just it's just like such a nice feeling of just like seeing someone enjoying what they're doing and you're like enjoying it at the same time. It's like this really nice like happy cycle of just like wanting to have fun, and the fact that I can do that with, you know, most of my time is awesome. It's amazing.
Yeah, and then it sounds like you found the perfect job when you were working at Universal in Japan as a character actor, getting to do improv with all the guests and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Because auditioning for Universal Studios Japan was just like any other audition for me, until I realized that there was a potential that I could be interacting with the Wizarding World. It was like this massive culmination of my whole life, of, you know, the like I said, that like interweaving of like Harry Potter's always been a part of my life, of marrying this, like my love of performing and my love of Harry Potter. I was like, this could be it. This could be how it happens, and it did, and it was absolute dream come true. And I don't take it for granted in the slightest.
That sounds amazing. That's so perfect.
Yeah, I was so fortunate to have multiple positions within the Wizarding World during my time there, and one of which was just especially so special because it was the debut of the first ever official Harry Potter parade in the entire world. Yeah, and to be part of the inaugural cast for that, I tell you what, and like the first time that I saw the train like parade float with all the lights on the train and all the park lights like off, I was like, just my little me was so proud of myself, and my current me was so proud of myself, and my me now looking back on it is like so proud. It was such a literally magical time and massive dream come true.
That's amazing. Yeah, I was on the opening team for Diagon Alley in Orlando, and I felt similar. It was like the first ever and the only currently Diagon Alley, and just getting to be a part and seeing it before it opened and then being there when it opened, it's just amazing. And do they still do that parade like every night, or is it still going on?
Currently not at the moment. They have to there's all different types of different restrictions in place, just going with the government guidelines for safety. But I got to perform that parade a lot over 2.5 years. So there's plenty of videos on YouTube if anyone's interested.
Yeah. Ooh, I hope to one day be able to see that there. That's so cool, because they definitely don't have those parades in the US at the parks here.
I know, it's so wicked, and I can't wait to one day get to Diagon Alley. My goodness, it looks awesome. Because they don't have that in Japan at all. It's just the Hogsmeade, the OG.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Hogsmeade and veganism, did you ever, I don't know if you ever like went there and ate at the Three Broomsticks or anything, but do they have many vegan options?
Yes. No, I loved going into the Wizarding World whenever I had time, and the Three Broomsticks is a sit down restaurant that they have like you go in by I'm not sure if it's the same as like in all other Wizarding Worlds, but you go in and there's certain options already designated of like what you can have. Mm-hmm. But then when you would ask if they had anything vegetarian, they would be able to call, I think maybe like the manager of the restaurant to come over, and they'd come over with their like iPad and like all their charts for like allergies and everything. And there's when I first was there, it's like a massive language gap, and I'm like, I don't want to be a hassle. This is not about hassle. This is about I just like some food, but it's like it's not a hassle. It's not a problem. It's just I really don't want to have that like giant cooked chicken item, and I don't want to have anything like that. It's just those fresh like corn cobs look like so good, and I'd really like to have something like that in this amazing restaurant right now. So yeah, when I was first there, it was a bit of a challenge, but I just used my trusty Google Translate and things like that right at the start, and then pretty much after I went back a few times, I realized the whole protocol of like the asking for vegetarian, and they bring over like the supervisor with the iPad and everything. And I'd be able to communicate a lot more effectively and easily, swiftly, just like, this is exactly what I'd like. And after like I think the third time I went there, I just took a photo of everything that I had, and I would just show it to them. I'm like, it's not my first time. Like I'd say all of this in Japanese, like, it's not my first time. I'd like to have this again, and thank you so much for your time, and I understand you'll probably have to go and get the iPad, and like that's okay.
Wow.
But if you're I made a post of it on my Instagram as well, just like showing the the vegan spread that they can make bespoke. Nice. Which is, it's so great that they have that available. And the whole park in Universal Studios Japan, they have most sit-down restaurants, they have the iPad and bespoke system for allergens, which is really good.
Yeah, that's really great. I'm glad that they do that. I've seen in the US they have like a little binder with some stuff, but iPad sounds easier. So that's great. And your idea,
high tech Japan.
Right. Your idea to take pictures and just show them, that's so smart. So I'll go find your post on there. Awesome.
Yeah, it was really tasty too, because like it's just like fresh steamed vegetables, just like massive corn cob, the like capsicum, potatoes, really, really good. And with the iPad you could check exactly like butter, gelatin, like all things like that. It's fantastic.
Nice. Okay, well that's awesome. It sounds like they have probably pretty much the same food as they do in the other parks then, because it's like corn, vegetables, potatoes. The roast potatoes are my favorite. They're so good. And then a few
absolutely, and pumpkin juice as well, good to go.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so let's talk about your production company, Northern Star Productions. So how did that come to fruition?
My partner and I, Bain, we are both performers with acting and theatre making backgrounds, and we are both really ambitious and have a lot of ideas and a lot of plans all of the time of stories we want to tell and movies we want to make and theatre shows we want to make, and just always since we met. And then last year in 2020, you might be able to guess what the next couple of sentences are going to be, but there was a lot of shake up to every industry, and everything got interrupted, disturbed, changed forever. And particularly my position at Universal last year, I was so lucky, so fortunate that it was interrupted, but it wasn't, I didn't have to end my contract early, which was, awesome, fantastic. And however, my partner Bain, he was working in Europe performing at the time, and he did have to get like emergency evacuated because all of the borders were closing. This was in maybe March last year. And so he had to make the split decision of like, do I go to Japan or do I go to Australia? And like, because if I go to Japan, at least if we get stuck and this gets worse, like we're stuck together. So yeah, we did that. And then when we were together and in Japan and I had a job and he didn't, all of a sudden, it was very, made us more sure than ever that we really wanted to make our own work happen all the time, no matter what. And so that, yeah, we're just more in control of what's going to happen and what we get to do and try next, rather than waiting for someone to give us an okay or waiting for a different opportunity. We'll just make it ourselves.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so we founded the company last year, and our first project unfortunately did fall apart because of all different reasons, but then we were doing that in collaboration with sort of another team, whereas now our new project is like just us, and we're just going to start like super minimally again so that we can really focus. And again, we're just more in control of it this time because we're both control freaks. And really following and focusing on a massive passion of ours this time, which I think is why it's really been met with a really awesome response so far before we've even properly started releasing our new series.
Yeah, plus I think just the idea is so great, and now that I've seen it, it's like, why haven't other people done this? And I saw you were saying in a video, there are plenty of documentaries, like vegan documentaries, but there aren't really many fictional like vegan stories out there. So you're here to change that, right? And that's super exciting.
Yeah, it's again, it's the marrying of just like, I am a really passionate, proud vegan and I'm a performer. So yeah, let's make this happen, because, you know, I'd love to make it and I would love to watch it. So I'll just make it for other people to watch.
Yeah, perfect. Sounds great to me. I'll watch it.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for the support. It's awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait. So you have a few different series coming out. We'll talk a little bit more about the other ones, but of course we're most excited for Mandrakes Feel Pain and Other Magical Vegan Myths, which the title in itself is great. So can you tell us what that's all about?
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm glad you like the title. I'm quite proud of it. I like it. Yes, it is a Harry Potter fan fiction exploration of veganism series. That's pretty much like what encapsulates all of it. We follow the protagonist of Amelia, who is a young British animal activist who she receives a Hogwarts letter and finds out that she's a witch and she's got to go to this magical school. But as I'm sure you know, and if anyone listens to Protego cast as well, or has ever even just thought about Harry Potter through the lens of animal ethics and the food that is had at the feasts and the just there's a lot of different dilemmas that do come up with going to Hogwarts and being in the wizarding world. And so we're going to follow Amelia through her entire journey in the wizarding world, pretty much.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, knowing that there are other people out there who think about this as well and then decide to make something about it is so exciting. Yeah. So
like I said, I would just love to watch it. So I was like, I'll just make it myself.
Perfect. I'm so glad that you decided to do that. So what can we expect from this series? It's going to be on YouTube, right?
Yes, all on YouTube for free. And first episode should be coming out fairly soon. We're hoping for end of September, early October. And that is when Amelia receives her Hogwarts letter, and she wants to respond somehow. So she will do that. And that's sort of the little intro that you get into like how she thinks and just who she is. And she's a little passionate little animal rights activist. It's awesome. And so we really get to see her. That's like a look at her in her in the non-magical world. And then from there, the next episode will be Amelia having to get her wand at Ollivander's, which, that's going to be really good. I think so. I think, I wrote it and I've directed it, whatever. I feel like it's fun. And I've got other episodes written as well. Our production has halted, unfortunately, at the moment, just because of different restrictions that are going on here. But as soon as we're able to, we're going to be filming more, and we can't wait. The possibilities, as you can imagine, are endless for every single story.
Yeah. I can't wait to see how you visualize all of that. That's going to be amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. So about how long will each episode be?
Yeah, good question. The first episode, I think, is like I said, it's sort of like the intro episode. That's like 6-ish minutes. So it's kind of like a more like a bite size. And then after that, I think they're going to be probably like 10 minutes each.
Awesome.
That's great. It's we've actually, since launching and officially being like, hey, we're making this online and connecting with different people, we've had a couple of people get in touch with us actually, and they're just like, this is such a great idea. And I'm a DP, I'm a composer, I'm this, I'm that, and I'm just massive Harry Potter fan. Can I just help you like do anything on this series? So
wow.
Definitely as it goes along, I think you'll see like up in production value and this and that, and because we just have more and more hands and input and help with all different things. But for now, it's literally just myself and my partner Bane doing everything for the first couple of episodes. But it's exciting, and I really want to just connect with as many Harry Potter fans, and especially vegan Harry Potter fans who are interested in animal rights. That's just I can't wait to just meet friends.
There are lots of friends in the community. It's a little bit niche because Harry Potter and animal rights, but there's just everyone in that community is just amazing. I've met a bunch of friends ever since I joined Protego, so for sure. And now I'm happy to have you in the community too.
So happy to be here.
Yeah, and even on the Protego team, we have a couple of composers and other people who might also have that same thought of like, if I can help you in any way, let me know. So if you ever need anybody, feel free to let me know, and I can see if there's anyone on the team who wants to help out.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have too much options at some point.
Right. Gotta keep the control.
What a great problem to have.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Okay, well, I was gonna ask, why did you choose Harry Potter over other fandoms, but you've made it pretty clear that Harry Potter is like has always been super special to you. Plus, I feel like the story just presents so many opportunities to have those little short segmented stories of focusing on each issue. So
yes,
I'm assuming,
there's like I think a good opportunity for sorry.
Oh no.
Thank you. I think that there is a really good opportunity for, like you said, like those little like vignettes of like what would happen if a vegan was in this situation or in this situation or in this situation of
right.
just all of the moments from the books and the films that we already know and love. And that's why it's not a obviously in canon or even like head canon series. It's just like fan fiction. So it's just like what if a vegan was there at that time, and what would have happened and how that would have played out instead. So there will also be some well-known characters making appearances I've got planned, which is going to be super fun.
That sounds great.
Yeah, you have got me thinking though, since saying like why did you choose the Harry Potter fandom? Yes, for me that was like a give-in, but now I'm thinking like what other series in the future and with other fandoms I could like develop.
You'll have 5 more series going on by the end of the interview.
Yes.
But yeah, that's great, because I feel like that's all of our dilemmas. Like, we would love to go to Hogwarts, but what would we do in those situations, like in potions class or with our wands or anything, just eating. So I cannot wait once again to see your writing and how you do that. Have you ever read any vegan Harry Potter fan fiction? Because apparently that does exist. I haven't read it, but
yeah, I haven't read any myself. I've look, you've just piqued my interest. I'm probably going to look up some now. But yeah, I haven't read any myself. I have read some just general Harry Potter fan fiction, and I've seen some other fan films, and people make awesome stuff. It's just such a vast world that you can draw on anything and everything within it to be really creative.
For sure. Yeah. So why do you think that activism through fiction is important?
Well, yeah, as you mentioned before, there's a lot of documentaries on the topic, and there's a lot of information, research, things like that. But in terms of fiction, there's really not a lot available. So that's why we're making that. And the reason I think that it's a good idea to add that to the activism that is available is because I think that with veganism, there's like I'm pausing because I'm so visual. I'm like visualizing it. It's like everyone's got like like there's a lock inside everyone's mind, and everyone's got a different key that's like going to unlock that realization, and that that like realization that it's like it's as easy as that, or like I don't have to do that, like I've been told that I have to, and everyone's got a really unique and personal key that's gonna like unlock that for them. And I normally find if I'm engaging with some fiction, so I'm like reading a book, watching a TV show, watching a movie, you can have those like really profound realizations of like, wow, that character is like so strong, or oh wow, that was so well said, and it can really, really stick with you a lot more than sometimes seeing a whole bunch of research on a screen can. And everyone's different, obviously, but that's why I just want to really contribute to activism, but through everything that I love, which is just, storytelling, because I think that for the people who they'd never watch a documentary, but they would watch, on Netflix, they're not going to hit yes to the documentary, but they will hit yes to the, comedy series about this, like whatever on the topic of veganism. I think it's going to open the door for a whole bunch of people who never would have had an interest in the topic before.
Oh my gosh, yes. I agree with you so much. And I love that lock and key metaphor, for one thing. That's really a really good way to say it. But you're right, like reading the facts, and it's always very heavy and kind of depressing sometimes. So this is more of a fun way, which at Protego, that's always trying, like the angle we're trying to go for is just like learning about this in more of a fun way. in an engaging way. And I feel like especially Harry Potter fans, or just fans of movies or fiction in general, we already make connections with the characters like in the books and in the movies, and we already draw all these parallels and these lessons from the books. So I think you're doing that exact same thing. It's going to resonate with all of the fans. And also, I'm really excited because I feel like whenever veganism comes up in like a TV show or something, it's usually a joke and it's usually not pro-vegan. So this will be more, you can joke about it, but it's pro-vegan. So I'm excited to just have that exist because there's not enough of that.
Yes, we are vegan filmmakers who are making this for anyone who's interested. It's not by vegans for vegans. It's by vegans for anyone who's interested.
Yes. And just making people think about things in a different way, because even for like the Protego team, we've been rereading the books and haven't in the past actually been focused so much on the animal messaging. And it's like things that we just didn't really think about in the past. And now we're like, oh my gosh, like this is very disturbing. Or, you know, like just opening your mind to thinking about something from a different perspective. So you can learn a lot from that for sure. Awesome. So what are your future goals for Northern Star Productions? Are you hoping to do like a bunch more series in the future as well? Or how do you want to grow it?
Yeah, these first series that we're doing, we really just want to start making stuff and letting people enjoy them and learn in the process while doing it. And then we have a lot of, like I said, we're very ambitious people. We have a lot of aspirations and things that we want to try, and places we want to go, and things we want to create. But the main goal, so to speak, is we've been speaking about, we really want to be that production company that whenever they do a film, in particular, all of the catering and craft services, it's just all vegan and it's like no problem. And think it's the little things like that where I'm like, yeah, that's the goal. Just having a fully vegan friendly like set. Like, it would be so nice and so fun.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. That's something that a lot of people don't think about too. I love that.
Yeah, we have a lot of ideas and different things that we want to do, but in particular, we do have an idea for essentially like a Black Mirror meets veganism type TV show, which. Yeah, we'll be pushing to eventually be able to make that happen, which I think that has a lot of potential as well and will be really fun. And yeah, we'd like to cross mediums as well, because like we said, like I said earlier, we both have a theatre making background. So I really want to do like a live vegan comedy show. Hopefully, like, you know, it depends on how, like, the climate and everything like that, but I'd love to be able to do that maybe next year or the year after. I'd love to do like a solo vegan comedy show. That would be really fun.
That sounds amazing.
There's a lot of theatre in Melbourne, so that's definitely like the city to try that out in, and lots of good vegan options as well. So I think that could be really fun.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. Awesome. So do you want to tell us a little bit more about the other two series that you're currently working on?
Yeah, sure. So in our first rollout of all of our episodes and everything, just in this like first batch, we're going to do 3 different series. And they are Mandrakes Feel Pain and Other Magical Vegan Myths, which is what we've been talking about. And then there is Addison, the ex-vegan YouTuber, which is a series that is it's a satire series all about all of the ex-vegan celebrities that you see, all of the ex-vegan YouTubers that there seems to be way too many of in recent years. It's just like a massive satire of all of those stereotypes in one. That's a series that's written and directed by myself as well. And then the series that is written and directed by my partner Bane is called My Inner Carnist, which is a super absurd, over the top, ridiculous comedy series where the main premise is that it is the character of Bane and his inner Carnist, who is this monster of sorts, just constantly terrorizing his entire life, trying to get him to eat meat again and give in to societal pressures. And it's going to cover all of the common arguments that one comes across that are anti-vegan. It's so silly and fun, and I love it.
Awesome. I love it. I can't wait for all of these. And you said earlier the Mandrake series, it's probably going to be the end of September or early October, right? So if in a month or so?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, not long now. As we speak today, Valerie, our teaser trailer for Mandrakes is going to go live tomorrow morning, which is so exciting. I can't wait just for everyone to just start seeing like the first glimpse of it. And yeah, from there, we're just going to be cementing just a couple of little things and making sure everything's ready to start releasing all the episodes. But yeah, early October, late September, that's when to make sure you're subscribed.
Yes. Awesome. And we will link the trailer and everything in the description of the video, so you can definitely check that out. And where else can people follow you?
Yeah, fantastic. On let's do YouTube first. We have a YouTube channel, and that's where all of the episodes are going to be for free for everyone, which is NSP. So that's, what should we do? That's Niffler, Slytherin, Protego, NSP Originals. That's the YouTube channel, or you can just search Northern Star Productions. And on Instagram as well, it's nsp.originals. And yeah, we put our like behind the scenes, and we interact with everyone who has a question or wants to know more about all the series and things we're working on there. And we post like vegan reels and comedy, things like that, just to that are like that, again, like those tiny little like bite-sized like things just to help people get our like sense of humor initially, and then they go, they like make other things as well. So that's the main things that we're
they're so fun.
I'm glad you enjoy them. Those are the main two things. We have a Facebook as well, which you can find through the Instagram and YouTube, and we have a website as well, which has just extra info. But those are the main two things, is Instagram and YouTube.
Perfect. And again, we'll put all of those links in the description so you can easily find them. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much, Courtney, for joining me. I had a great time chatting with you, and I absolutely cannot wait to watch Mandrakes and then the other two series as well, and anything you come up with in the future. So definitely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So definitely go and follow Northern Star Productions, and we will, I'm sure, continue reporting on the series as it goes along. So thanks again, Courtney.
Thanks again for your time too, Valerie. Thank you so much.